This is absolutely ridiculous. A new era of the Giants began and ended immediately. My first overall pick, Malik Nabers, tears his ACL on a post down the sideline in the second quarter of the game. Giants defeated the Chargers 21-18, lost me a bunch of money, and looked good. But Ethan, how fucked are the Giants without Malik?
They were as fucked as they started with. Something good happens, Jaxon Dart comes in, plays well, and then they lose Nabers. I mean, I can't name you another receiver on that team. I just think they should retire now. Nope, just get rid of the Giants.
So let's talk about the turf for a second, Ethan. Why the fuck are these guys still playing on turf at MetLife? Do you have any idea why this is going on? OBJ, who had really bad injuries himself, posted this, and it sums it up perfectly. Look at how many players have gone down at MetLife. You have Nick Bosa, 2020, tears his ACL or Achilles. Solomon Thomas, 2020. Jabril Peppers, Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard. By the way, the last three are New York Giants players, all right? Kyle Fuller, Aaron Rodgers, potentially Malik Nabers. When does this end, Ethan?
I don't think it's potentially. I think Malik Nabers is done. I guess they're just cheaping out in New York, man. They just don't want to put good field in Gotham City. I don't know. I guess they would like to see injuries.
Well, let's get to the story of the game. Jaxon Dart, who actually impressed. 170-ish total yards, passing and rushing. Looked good against a very tough Chargers defense, Ethan. I really liked his run game, how he hiked and kind of like carved up their defense from the 10-yard line. I see so many offenses this year get to the 10, 15-yard line, and they don't know what they're doing. They can't get 6 yards. They can't get 8 yards. They can't get a first down, kick a field goal. Pathetic. Does Brian Daboll want to make love to Jaxon Dart is the question. Watch this. What is Ethan? What is that, bro?
That's a grown man being happy his job has been saved.
His job, his career, his marriage potentially. Yeah. Like he could have got divorced over this. He looked like he was gonna kiss him, Ethan. Like he genuinely looked like he's about to kiss that man.
He should have kissed him. I mean, going from Russell Wilson to that, I would make out with him too.
I mean, Brian Donut needs to calm down. Another person who needs to calm down is Adonai Mitchell, bro. Adonai Mitchell, fumble of the year. Adonai Mitchell should be sent to an El Salvadorian prison. Ethan, 70-yard touchdown pass from Danny Dimes. Fumble out of the end zone. Penalty later in the game. But let's talk about this first. Should this rule change or do players need to be less dumb? Jonathan Taylor has done this too. Roll through the footage. Pass. Oh, excuse me. Let's get to the JT run. A 54-yard get off the bitch touchdown called back by guess who? Adonai Mitchell. So Adonai at this point fumbles into the end zone, and he also has a holding penalty called against him. And by the way, Jonathan Taylor has done this. You can obviously see Broncos players doing this. It's just such a bonehead move. There's the New York Jets player doing it as well. I believe Deshaun Jackson, there he is, did it years ago. It's just so stupid. You can do this at the back of the end zone, the middle of the end zone. This is players getting too ahead of themselves. And also, you know, when you're like flexing and doing the whole shoulder thing, and you're down 30, it's like Chris Paul drains 3 to cut the lead to 37, right? Why? Is this the costliest game from a single person? He chopped off 2 touchdowns, Adonai, over 100 yards of offense. The over was destroyed. The Colts bettors destroyed. And if you had Daniel Jones and JT, Adonai Mitchell cost you 18 fantasy points.
Yikes, man. Yeah, I mean, Adonai Mitchell just sandbagged that whole Colts team. They were going to be the first 4-0 start in a decade for them. It's really sad because a lot of this happens to receivers every time because they're just total divas. You know, you don't see it happen from running backs as much, but it's a totally receiver move to just drop the ball before getting in the end zone.
Now, Puka Nacua, 13 for 170 and a touchdown. Is he the best receiver in the NFL, you think?
He's definitely up there, man. He's a top-tier receiver, but we've known that since his rookie year. I don't think he's number 1 yet, but he has a lot of time. What is he, only like 24 years old?
He's super young, and also, I mean, his stat line's going up and up and up. 130, there's a lot of leagues that at 150 yards, you get a bonus. So, like, this is an insane stat line. He's being targeted like 13 to 15 times a game. Moving on to Daniel Jones, 2 picks would have had over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ethan, I don't know if you saw the last drive of the game, but Danny Dimes did have a chance to make a comeback, and he threw a pick. And I believe this is where we're going to start to see the true Danny Dimes come out, the New York Giants, Danny Dimes come out, because Daniel Jones, listen, this was a fun little run he had. And I'm not saying he can't beat some bad teams. He's got to play the Texans multiple times, the Jaguars multiple times, the Titans multiple times. But the teams he beat the Dolphins, who are absolutely dog awful, Ethan. They stink. Then he beat the Broncos on a field goal that, like, really was not legit. And then I forget who they beat last week. Dylan, if you could tell me who they beat last week, it was also not a good team. So I'm not about the Danny Dimes hype. After they beat the Titans. So the Titans are obviously the worst team in the league. The Dolphins are the second worst team in the league, and they stole a game from the Broncos. They finally play a good team, they lose. I think this is going to be a recurring theme with the Colts. They can't beat good teams. Finn Blue, what up, man?